I remember when generative images really started hitting the mainstream and Midjourney really starting to take over. This is even before ChatGPT. A lot of people were saying that things like Midjourney were going to completely kill iStock, which is, of course, a site that made thousands and millions of dollars selling stock images to people. Now, the owner of iStock is Getty, and Getty has just announced as of today that they are launching a dedicated image generation service for iStock. It's called Generative AI by iStock. Now, this is absolutely fascinating. It makes perfect sense. They own this data set, or they have control of this data set, and they're essentially able to train a model to generate images from it. So I think this is a no-brainer. And I mean, I know a lot of people, there's still some people that will criticize this. Anyways, I'm going to go into all of that, but I think this is a very interesting play. So let's get into the episode.
We gon' bring it to you just like that. Welcome everyone to the future. It's AI Chat, bringing you the interviews and giving you info to be in the know from tech company CEOs of. Rock with us, bet you gon' come back. I'm just saying the facts. This is AI Chat. Let's go.
So essentially what's going on here is that Getty Images is launching their very own image generator to compete with, DALL-E and Midjourney and all of the other, the ones by Adobe, etc. So the service provides, essentially, it's a text-to-image generator for designers and business users, which can produce, images from your text prompts, just like you'd see with Midjourney and DALL-E and everything else. What I think is really interesting here, and I guess I'll preface this by saying there's definitely some people that will complain, because I talk about this on LinkedIn and social media a lot with people, and there's always people having debates on this stuff. I think this is a great move, because by owning the data set, I'll talk about some of the guarantees they've been given, which are really interesting. But by owning the data set, they're able to essentially train this without a lot of the controversy that Midjourney faced around, like, hey, you just scraped everyone's images, trained stuff on it, and you're not paying people that you took their content. So that's kind of where Midjourney's been criticized. Adobe got around that with their own kind of stock image library, training it off of that. But there was a bunch of people that even complain about what Adobe's doing anyways on social media. I know social media is just full of complainers, so that's probably a big part of it. But they're saying, like, hey, Adobe found like a loophole in the terms of service that allowed them to do it when people didn't really want to opt in, blah, 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 blah. I'm not sure how true that is, because at the end of the day, Adobe does like pay people whose images were included in their data set into the training model. And I mean, I'm sure those people would rather get royalties than get nothing with Midjourney. So in my opinion, it seems like a good setup, but I don't know. I know some people are complaining about it. They're like, yeah, just like ban AI generated images altogether, which obviously is never going to happen. So what I will say is, right now with this new Getty Images kind of product, all of the images that are generated come with legal protection and usage rights for commercial purposes. Now, what's interesting is I feel like a lot of these people that own data sets are making these similar plays. We actually saw Shutterstock do something similar last year. They introduced their own AI image generator. But I think generating AI by iStock, this new product they have, this came out at the CES 2024 conference in Las Vegas. So really, really interesting. So essentially the service offers photo quality images up to 4K resolution, which is really, obviously, if you have done much with AI image generation, that's phenomenal. Usually one of the problems is they're kind of lower quality. But then again, you do have the ability to kind of upscale them. And so that's probably what they're doing similar here. All of this was trained on Getty and also iStock's proprietary creative library. This is including exclusive photos, illustrations, and videos, which is really, really interesting. All of this is kind of aimed at providing licensed AI content, right? There's a ton of lawsuits going on right now against different AI tools because they're using people's artwork without permission, aka Midjourney. And each generated image now will come with legal coverage of up to $10,000, which I think is super, super interesting. I think that is an interesting play. Adobe, I'm pretty sure, just said, we give you legal coverage up to infinity or something. They'll just defend you in court. But this is up to $10,000. So, you get something in there. iStock will not add the generated content to its creative library for others to license, right? So essentially, if you generate an image, it's not going to get automatically added to their photo library. You just get that image. They're probably trying not to, I don't know I haven't seen exactly the quality of the images generated. I think that's TBD. We're going to get a demo of that soon enough, where I can actually get my hands on with this thing. But what I will, so I think I'm assuming that if they're not everyone's not incredible, they don't want to spam up their like regular image library, which makes a lot of sense. But this new tool, it also includes a prompt builder with fields for subject, activity, surroundings, color, mood, aspect ratio, right? So essentially there's like all these different elements that they'll allow you to pick and choose and customize. This is powered by NVIDIA's Picasso AI model library, which is essentially just combining Picasso's Edify Foundation model with Getty's licensed content. So this new service is going to be available with some dedicated pricing structure for 100 generations, right? So you can create 100 images with this. New editing capabilities with all of this include in-painting and out-painting features on iStock and Getty Images. This is really what you'd expect from all these image generators today. So if they didn't have that, they'd honestly just be behind. But what I think is really cool is that developers can actually access APIs for integrating these capabilities into their applications. I think anytime these AI models have APIs, this is a huge boost for people to actually be able to integrate this. And I think it's great for getting usage. This is something that's one of my biggest criticisms about Midjourney is just their lack of API really makes it so I think it's slowing them down from getting integrated into like enterprise software. And more software for people. So people use workarounds, yada, yada, but like without a dedicated API, it's really not a serious tool that's going to get integrated into other things until that happens. So all of this is, competing with a bunch of different AI tools from, of course, there's Midjourney, DeviantArt, Runway, Stability AI, Adobe's Firefly models, DALL-E. There's all of these different ones. I am all for a new AI image generator coming out, especially when they have their own data set that's custom to them. I think this really is great to see more options on the market. And I think eventually we'll see thousands of these that maybe have different data sets, and so they're good at generating specific types of images. Maybe Getty has like more of these. Getty kind of is famous for like, photos of celebrities and photos of famous people in different places. And they do have a unique data set that I think will be interesting to see how those licenses work. But all in all, really excited to see where this goes, and I'll keep you updated on how this thing is adopted as it is rolled out. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? I record and publish podcasts on a platform called Spotify for Podcasters, and I absolutely love it. Essentially, you can upload from your phone or computer, and it distributes to every platform that plays podcasts. They support video podcasts, and you can make money on the platform with ads or even podcast subscriptions, something that has made my life so much easier as a podcaster. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. You can download the Spotify for Podcast app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your podcast today. Thank you for listening to the AI Chat Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, I'd appreciate it if you rate me wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're looking for an innovative group of AI enthusiasts, make sure you check out our Discord channel and also our Facebook community. It's obviously a lot more interactive than a podcast, where we can actually share software tools, prompts that we're using in everyday AI. I'll leave a link for those in the description below.